and welcome to the Knitting Game and Other Stuff. This is episode 47 and today is January 2nd, 2013. It was a hard day today at work trying to remember where I left off a week and a half ago. And getting used to that schedule again, going to bed early, getting up early. I didn't sleep well. So it's been a long day already. So, first of all, I'm Lesley, your host, and I want to thank everybody for joining me today. If you're new, I hope you enjoy, and if you're a returning viewer, well, welcome back. So, if you'd like to get the show notes, and if you would like to vote, the whole point of the knitting game, please check out myordinaryjourney.com, all one word right there, up there. So, My Ordinary Journey. And there you'll find, in the show notes, links to the vendors, different yarn dyers, Etsy shops that I like to frequent. You'll also find a link to my Etsy shop. Just saying. And just random little bits of stuff just to make you chuckle during the day. Speaking of our Ravelry group, which you can find a link to in the show notes, I have some welcomes to make this week. So first of all, I'd like to start with Argyle, and that's Karen. Zukaila is Carolyn. Phoenix Fire is Tracy. And then there's Star Lumpy. I didn't get a name, sorry, but Star Lumpy. Ex Farm Girl, and that is Linda. And RC Hall is Rochelle. So, welcome everyone. And we had one birthday this week, and that is Mehutak. And that's Nancy. So, happy birthday, Nancy. I hope you enjoy it. So, some shout outs and announcements. Well, we made it. The group now has officially 150 members. So, I am going to do a drawing for a membership milestone giveaway. So I want to thank everyone who joined in the last week here that put us over the edge in membership. And you'll have either your choice, I think, possibly. Yeah, I think you'll have your choice. You can either get, let's see, I will either give you one of my bags. So I have some bags here. So this is an example of one of the structured zippered bags. So there's a zipper and it's, oh, this one is open already. So it's fully lined on the inside, no exposed seams, and it's structured in that there's like, it's still soft, but it's not completely floppy. Now this is completely floppy. There's no interfacing or anything. But this too, it's fully lined, and this is one of the drawstring bags. So you get your choice. You can have either a zipper or a drawstring. So the winner will just have to let me know. So without further ado, let's get to drawing. So I have here queued up on my telephone my random number generator. So as you can see, from 2 to 151, because I was the first, so I'm not going to be eligible. So here we go, everybody. I'm going to generate a number. Oh, so exciting. And that is number 125. Okay, so now I will go look at my list of wonderful folks. And number 125 is Melissa Knits otherwise known as Melissa. So I don't know if you can see that, but Melissa Knits, I will go ahead and reach out to you and contact you and see which one you would like, either the drawstring or a zippered bag. So, back to the regular show. So, yay, Melissa Knits. What a week. Oh, an announcement. This past weekend, I received the first batch of yarn for the Armed Forces Fiber Fanatics Charity Sock Yarn Club. And this was dyed up by Lollipop, Joan of Lollipop Yarn, and oh my gosh, I was so floored and just absolutely blown away with how wonderful. I cannot tell you how, I'm so happy. Oh, it is so pretty. I'm not going to show it. I'm going to wait until I know everybody's gotten theirs, or I'm reasonably sure that everyone has gotten it before I show it off. But let me tell you, you guys that are in the club are in for a treat. It is wonderful stuff. So, Saturday morning, the folks that are in the club, I will invoice you guys Saturday morning, the 5th. Now, you have until the 15th to get your payment for this month in, and if you can't make it, just let me know. I'll have to pick somebody else off of the wait list for the month. Sorry, but that's just, the whole point is to raise the money, so I need somebody to buy it, is how it works. So you have until the 15th to get me your payment. So, and it's going to be $29.99 for this month. Next month it'll be a little bit less, and that's set by the dyer actually. So it's all good. So look for that come Saturday morning, the invoices. So I do have a quick question of the week. It's a year, new year, so new beginnings, reflecting on year past, anticipating the future, and kind of in that vein, I started to think about what I want to do with the knitting game, how it's evolved over almost a year. I'm coming up on the podiversary here in a few weeks, and I started thinking about what keeps people coming back each week, what they like, what they don't like. So the question of the week is, what do you like best about the knitting game? Now, I already went ahead and purposefully, before I recorded, put the thread there on the Ravelry group, so it is there for you when you're ready. Because sometimes I'm not as good as I should be about getting the questions of the week up for you guys to actually answer, and that's like the whole point, right? So I have those up now for this week, for this question of the week this week. All right, so moving on to the knitting game. In weeks, months past, I've done the knitting game kind of like last chance kitchen on Top Chef, where the winner moves on to the next round, to the next round, to the next round, until you get to the end, and then they go back into the competition, and they're the ultimate winner of the last chance kitchen. This go around, I decided to change it up a little bit, and I'm doing it more of an American Idol type structure, where I have you guys vote as much as you want, as often as you want for a week, and then the bottom two patterns are the ones that I choose to put at the bottom of my priority list. Now, they're not losers. They're just at the bottom of my priority list, and these patterns are ones that I have been gifted. I want to put a priority on those because someone else bought them for me, and I want to make that a priority. So this is how I am prioritizing that queue of patterns. The one pattern that is number one out of all of the 9 will be the next winner of the knitting game per se. So yay, that's how it's gonna work. So last week, let's see, I had the Heartbreak, the For Good hat, the Vittorio, the U for Sign, Color Affection, Striped Study Shawl, Water Street cardigan, and the Slip into Paradise socks. And those were the patterns that were up for a vote. So this week, the two patterns that were at the bottom of everybody's list when all the votes were tallied was the Slip into Paradise socks, and then this week was the Striped Study Shawl. So the pattern that I decided to put next to last on my priority list for this week, for week 2 of the pattern prioritization knitting game, was the Slip into Paradise socks. Now, the only reason why I put this a little bit lower is because it's 2 weeks in a row now that it was in the bottom 2, so I gave it a shot this week. So now it's time to move on, so that is going to join the Glen Ellen shawl and in the lower end of the queue. So I will put the Striped Study Shawl back into rotation. So for week 3 of the pattern prioritization knitting game, you have again the Heartbreak, the For Good hat, the Vittorio, the U for Sign, the Color Affection, the Striped Study Shawl, and the Water Street cardigan. Now, just like on American Idol or X Factor or any of those other shows, if you have a favorite, vote for it. Because I will tell you that I had my show notes done. I thought I knew who was going to be in the top or the bottom 2 today. And within an hour, that completely changed. So you don't want to see your favorite in the bottom of the list. If you want to see the pattern knit up or how I knit it, what I knit it with, if I come across a quirk or something quirky in the pattern, a modification that I try, if you want to hear about that and you're interested in seeing somebody else do it before you jump in, vote. It's important, because otherwise it'll be at the bottom of the list. Alrighty, so that was week 3 of the pattern prioritization knitting game. Alright, so on to prior knitting game winners. So I've been working on this easy 100th anniversary camping half circle shawl, and it is a mouthful. And I have been diligently grinding away on this one. So I'm using Knit Picks Bare Gloss as my yarn, and it's in a gray color, but I have over dyed it with Kool-Aid, and it is this kind of maroony type color, and it still has, like you can see in some places, like almost looks like silver crayon, like somebody's colored over the yarn with some silver crayon. So as you can see, I was kind of getting, I guess I had more here than I thought. I thought I was a little bit lower. but I was only going to get a few more rows out of this. So I needed to dye up some more of the yarn, which I did. But the first hank of yarn I felted it. I put it in the crock pot, and I forgot to turn the crock pot off before we went to go see The Hobbit. So it sat in the crock pot for 3 hours, at least, on high. It wasn't good. So it kind of felted a little. You can still use it. I think it just, when I would go to cake it up, it would kind of pull apart enough. It's not like super felted where it's like stuck together. You can just tell the strands, it started to rub a little bit, but I thought in the finished project that would be too scratchy. So I decided I would just go ahead and do up another hank, and this one came out much, much better. But the color, and this is why they say buy all in the same dye lot, even though I used the same exact formula of Kool-Aids, it still came out a little bit different. And I think that might be because I don't know, maybe different ratios of water and vinegar or what. But anyway, it is what it is. It's close enough that I don't think the recipient is going to A, notice, or B, care. It's the thought that counts. Unfortunately, I wanted to have this done tomorrow so that I could block it, so that I could give it away as a gift on Saturday. And please excuse my shuffling. But that is not going to happen, just because I'm behind with the dyeing. But here's where I've gotten so far. So the last time you guys saw this, I was just finishing with this slanted twigs part here, and that's where my little dicky-doo was the last time you saw it. Since I recorded last week, though, I have completed a complete repeat of this, like, it's like the willow tree section. So these leaves here. So I've completed 1.5 out of the 4 repeats that are required. So that's the last major section of the shawl. And then I have the edging to do as well. And that one is going to take me a little time because I've never done an edging like this before. And it looks like, not that it's going to be complicated. I don't think it's going to be complicated. It's just going to be a matter of me sitting down and actually reading the pattern. Because I don't think it's crocheted. I don't even know. I haven't even gotten that far, and I know you're supposed to read through the patterns before you start them. Because, of course, I probably ended up missing something very intricate and important. But let's see. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like when it is finished. So, yeah. So, there you can see probably a little bit better where I'm at in the pattern. So, and that is what the completed shawl looks like. It's very pretty. I can't wait till it's actually finished. So you can see I don't have that much, I say that much more left. So it's going to have to be an IOU project, unfortunately. But I will take it with me so I can at least show her what it's supposed to look like when I go Saturday. So I did kind of feel bad about that, but it is what it is. I worked my fanny off trying to get stuff done, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. So I do want to share, I made this bag. You guys are going to laugh. So if you don't know, I started my own kind of like bag making business, Etsy shop. So the other day I was playing around with new zipper techniques, and I had this big old long 16-inch zipper that I wanted to use, and I had this fabric. Now this fabric I got in a fabric quarter swap hosted by Girl Cave Bags, Rista 1313. So it was her fat quarter swap from her Ravelry board, and my swap partner Carrie, she was amazing. So she's from Oregon, so she sent me this umbrella fabric, and it is just the cutest fabric. And I wanted to use it for something special. Well, when I grabbed the fabric, as you can see, the umbrellas go all in one direction. So I had to cut the fat quarter so it would keep the umbrellas going vertical instead of horizontal, or even upside. It would have been upside down or sideways. No, it was side. They were going to be horizontal. And I didn't want that, but I wanted to use the umbrella fabric for the outside, because she also sent me like a polka dot fabric, and then these kind of remind me of the tops of the fruity drink umbrellas. So I made this bag, and it doesn't look quite like a project bag. It looks more like a notions bag, but as you can see, this is 16 inches by maybe about 6. But it's plenty big enough to keep my shawl, a copy of the pattern, and the extra hank of yarn in there with my needles. So I think if I were to do this one again, kind of, if y'all wanted it, I would like to have a handle. That's the only thing. I don't have a handle, and I can't put one in now, so it is what it is. So that's the knitting game. Alright, so moving on to the other stuff. I finished the Cool House hat, which was a knitting game, and the Augusta fingerless mitts for my daughter. And I had nothing to work on, really. I don't know, I was anxious to knit, cast something new on, because I hadn't cast something new on in a long time. So while I was waiting for the yarn to dye, I cast on 2 new projects. The first one being my Devil in a Blue Dress socks. They're not dress socks, it's Devil in a Blue Dress socks. And these I cast on Monday? Yeah, I cast these on Monday, and you can see I've gone to town. I'm probably pretty close to putting in the afterthought heel, maybe another couple of stripes, 2 stripes, so maybe another hour's worth of work or so, and I'll put the afterthought heel in. So these are being knit on size 1.5 Knit Pick fixed circular needles in a magic loop method, and I am using Lollipop Yarns Devil in a Blue Dress self-striping sock yarn. Beautiful stuff. I love it. Oh, I'm so in love with her yarn. I'm not a big self-striping sock person. It's not like one of those compulsions that I have to buy self-striping sock yarn. But between Fiber Nymphs Bumblebee that I did the Steeler socks for my personal trainer in, and then Lollipop yarn, oh my gosh, I am really jazzed about self-striping socks. So, and those are in yet another one of my bags. And again, this is playing with a zipper installation technique that I was practicing. So I made a couple of bags this weekend trying to practice. So hopefully next week I'll have a hoe. That's my hope, that I'll have a hoe for my socks. So, I'm not using a pattern with those. I just did increases. It's toe up, so increases every other round. I do an increase at the beginning and the end on the second and next to last stitch, and I'd use the knit front and back increase. I'm just going to knit in the round until it gets to be about 2.5, maybe 2 inches shorter than my foot. I'm going to put in the afterthought heel, the waist yarn, and then I'm going to knit up. I don't exactly know how much I'm going to knit up. I don't know that I'm going to necessarily knit to half of the ball. I might do a little less than half. I don't know how long I want them. I guess it depends. So that's that project. Now this project, let me call this one up. This project, Courtney Stitches Please from the Fearless Knitter podcast, she knit these up and sent the pattern on to me. And I have been dying to knit some fingerless gloves. So I cast these on. So this is the Vancouver Fog pattern, Vancouver Fog fingerless mitts. And I'm knitting these on size 7 ChowGoo interchangeable needles. You might have caught that. I said interchangeable needles. And I'm using Gnome Acres Arthur Weasley colorway, and it is on the 100% superwash merino worsted weight yarn. And this is some, to quote Amanda, it's squishy. This is some squishy, soft, wonderful yarn. So I don't know if you can all see the detail. Here is what the mitts look like. And I cast these on New Year's Eve because my hands were freezing. I made a quick run to the post office to drop some stuff in the mail, and my hands were freezing in the car. And then when I got home, you know, if you're out and you're running or you're outside and you've got some bare exposed skin and it gets cold, and then you put it under hot water or you warm up too fast and you get that prickly kind of burning, super burning sensation. Well, that's what I got just from going out to the car, driving to the post office, coming back and coming into the warm house. My skin was just burning. So I decided no more. I'm not going to do it. I've been waiting. I purposefully bought this yarn specifically to do some fingerless mitts, and that's what I'm doing. You guys know I love my cables, and I just can't get away from them. Luckily, these are not large, huge cables in the sense that I'm crossing 4/4. No, it's 2/1 or 2/2, so I can do the cable needle-less cabling method, which can be frightening. You just kind of got to get over that and move on. And I did make a mistake in the pattern that I could have probably left alone, but I didn't know if it later on it was going to cause any issue when I got to the thumb gusset or make the panel of the cable off center where it should be. So what I ended up having to do is I had to drop down, and at the time I was only about here. I was like 14 rows up. Yeah, I was 14 rows up. I was through the first set of the repeat before starting the second, and I decided I gotta fix it. So I had to drop 4 stitches down 14 rows and change them. So I had to drop a knit stitch down and then bring it back up as a purl. And then the same with purls. I had to drop down the purls and bring them back up knit. So I have this little itty bitty crochet needle. It's an emergency little crochet hook that I got. I went on a knitting retreat to Doghouse Yarns and More knitting retreat back last April, and this was like one of the little door prize thingies. But let me tell you how simple but like effective this little tool is. I love it. It's got a little round end on it. It's just a little emergency one. I just stick it in my bag. So that's all good. Right now I've finished 2 whole repeats. The glove itself only takes 4. I'm working on the thumb gusset right now, so I'm doing the thumb gusset increases. So before too long, I'll be able to drop these stitches off onto some waste yarn and finish it. I think Courtney did hers in a day and a half. I've been working on mine since New Year's Eve night, and that again is in one of my bags. So good times. All right, so let's see. Some stash. I didn't get any yarn this week other than several large boxes of balls of yarn, but I can't show you that. No, what I did get is, well, I'll just show you. This was my indulgence from what I didn't get that was on my Christmas list that I kind of really wanted, and when I didn't get it, I had to just go out and get it for myself because I really, really wanted them. So I got the ChowGoo Red Lace Twist interchangeable needles. I got the complete set, so I have from sizes 2 through 15, and then it comes with small and large cables, so they're in sizes 14, 22, and 30. Yes, 14 inches, 22 inches, and 30 inches, and there's a set, one set each for the larger needles and one set for the smaller needles. And then it comes with a whole bunch of goodies, the keys, the cable end things, which are these like peggy deals. Instead of like the knit picks are the round ones, these are like square pegs that you screw down into the cable, which is neat. Then it actually comes with the cable extenders, so if you need a really long cable for your cable needles, you can actually string more than one of them together to make a larger cable, which is wonderful. This set also comes with a little needle gauge and ruler and some cute stitch markers. So you can never have enough of these. I love stitch markers. So got me some stitch markers. What's really nice about these is you might be wondering, well, what do they consider large? What do they consider small? Actually, on each needle is laser etched the size and whether or not it's a large or small, so you know which cable size to use. And it's got both the US and the metric size on it, as well as the pouch it comes in, so you know exactly where to put your needles. And it is a padded pouch. It's wonderful. And I got my needles from Mimi's Needle Basket. She's on Etsy. I have a link to her shop and amazing shipping. I got it like in almost no time. And a fellow podcaster, I'm not going to name names, also purchased a set and got their needles same day, and we were very happy campers indeed. So that was my only purchase that I received as of late. There have been other purchases, I just haven't gotten them. That's okay. So let's put all this back. And spinning, I did some spinning, just a little bit. I have this loop bat that I've been working on forever, but I need to get back once I get done with my fingerless gloves and I get done with the shawl. I'm going to go back and I'm going to spend some quality time with my wheel because she has been neglected. So that was it for spinning. Now for sewing, bags, and more bags. Oh my gosh, I gave you all a coupon code, and let me tell you, you guys did not disappoint. I've been crazy busy making bags. It has been a lot of fun and so awesome. You guys really like that Star Trek fabric. Oh my gosh, and it's so cute. So I love using it. And the next shop update is not going to be until January 11th. So not this Friday, but next Friday. So I might have some surprises on the horizon for you guys for that update. Maybe some Valentine's Day themed fabrics. I don't know, maybe so. Hint, hint. So that's all I have for this week. So please don't forget to vote. Remember, as often as much as you want. It's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. So if you want to vote for the color affection 15 million times, click that button until you just don't, it makes you sick. Because that would make me happy to see you guys voting like crazy. So until next week, have a great week, and I hope you survive getting back to school and routine and work and everything. Because wow, it was a doozy today. I can't wait till the weekend, and it felt like a Monday, and it's Wednesday, so that's a good thing. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you later. Bye.